Have you guys heard about the largest rescue operation for the Holocaust that nobody ever talks about? Well, don't worry, I got you. Today is April 18th and it is Holocaust Remembrance Day. I ran across this article back in February and I was like, I have got to make a video about this because this is a story that is never told. And if we don't start sharing these types of stories of heroism, these stories die and all we hear is the tragedy. So just before Nazi Germany invaded Hungary in March of 1944, Jewish youth leaders in the Eastern European country jumped into action. They formed an underground network that would save tens of thousands of fellow Jews from the gas chambers. Now, like I said, this chapter of Holocaust heroism is scarcely remembered in Israel, and it's also not included in their curriculum. But a few remaining members of Hungary's Jewish underground want their story told. In the Holocaust, 6 million Jews were wiped out by Nazis and their allies. The story of the struggle to save tens of thousands needs to be a part of the Chronicles of the People of Israel, said David Gur, 97, one of the handful of members still alive. It is a lighthouse during the period of the Holocaust, a lesson and exemplar for the generations. When he was only 18, he oversaw a massive forgery operation that provided false documents for Jews and non-Jewish members of the Hungarian resistance. And of course, that put his life at risk. In December of 1944, he was arrested at the forgery workshop and brutally interrogated and imprisoned. But the Jewish underground broke him out of the Central Military Prison in a rescue operation later that month. According to his book, at least 7,000 Jews were smuggled out of Hungary through Romania to ships on the Black Sea that would bring them to British-controlled Palestine. At least 10,000 forged passes offering protection known as Schutz passes were distributed to Budapest Jews, and around 6,000 Jewish children and accompanying adults were saved in houses ostensibly under the protection of the International Red Cross. Robert, a senior historian, said that although it is the largest rescue operation of European Jews during the Holocaust, this episode remains off the main route of the narrative. Israel, which was established as a refuge for Jews in the wake of the Holocaust, has gone to great lengths over the years to recognize thousands of righteous among the nations, non-Jews who risked their lives to save Jews during the Holocaust. Accounts of Jewish resistance to the Nazis, such as the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, are mainstays in the national narrative, but the rescue missions by fellow Jews, such as the Hungarian resistance, are less known. Now, like I said, Israel marks its own Holocaust Remembrance Day in the spring, which is today. But in the US, it is celebrated on January 27th, because when do we ever celebrate anything on the right day? So of course, I had to look into what was the US doing to spread this amazing message. Well, the husband of Kamala Harris is apparently the first Jewish person to be married to one of the top 2 nationally elected US officials. So naturally, I would expect him to go share this story. But instead, he held meetings to talk about anti-Semitism in the US and around the world. And we know how crazy anti-Semitism was being thrown around a few months ago. He understands the weight of his responsibility. And as long as he's got a microphone, he's going to talk about the bigotry and lie, not the heroes. Oh, but he's an entertainment lawyer in California. What'd you expect?